Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters cast. We will be checking out a very awesome game today. Let's introduce the players down the bottom right side of the map. It is Mr. Hendralisk. He is from Canada, plays for Complexity Gaming Team. Very awesome stuff. And his opponent up the top left side of the map is going to be Mr. TaeJa. Very awesome player and probably going to be the favourite to win this game, but we'll just have to see how it turns out. He is 20 years of age from South Korea, plays for Team Liquid, has actually got an achievements tab, and it's actually 2 rows because there's so many achievements in there. So TaeJa, obviously a very awesome player, but then again, we knew that already. So let's go in and start checking out the game. Not too much happening yet. We've got the first Reaper coming out from Mr. TaeJa. We've got the Overlord just about to get there. The SCV is going to be building a command center. Yeah, I don't think there's any way he's not going to be building that at this point. And there you go, the Reaper's going off, going to be moving over, making room for a reactor, I think. And another supply depot over there if he decides to do that as well. Whether or not he's going to go for Hellions is interesting, but I'm guessing probably will. Off this barracks, just, you know, why the hell not? He's almost got the gas necessary for it, so he's timed it very nicely. But then, of course, high level play, they time everything nicely. There goes the factory, there goes the Reaper coming in beautifully, and the Queen only halfway done, but Lings are going to be up in time. And yeah, so this Reaper, he's got 1 kill on a Ling so far. That Ling got a little bit too far up, but it is going to be backing off. These other ones doing pretty good. The last Reaper just about to die, and there it goes, does go down, and 2 other Reapers at very low health. So exceptional micro from Mr. TaeJa there. He's going to regen, but there's not going to be too much going on. The Queens are out now, so Reaper is pretty much just a scouting unit now. It's not really going to be able to do anything, although both Queens are coming down here, so if he sneaks up the top, then he might be able to do something because both Queens are down the bottom. The command center, oh, we got a 3rd command center coming out here right next to the main one. Going to be pumping out a whole ton of workers. TaeJa looking to get a nice bit of macro advantage in this game, and Hendralisk, of course, does have 2 bases. Can expect him to be going for a 3rd base fairly soon, but right now he's just building a ton of workers, putting every scrap of minerals he has into workers at this point. And yeah, it's going to be a very nice little boost and should allow him to go for some decent tech as well as getting that 3rd base. So yeah, 3rd base a little bit later than it otherwise could have been, but I suppose if he's planning on going for a 3rd base over here, which is a little bit more secure, a little bit harder to go for, then he's got to knock down those rocks, and that is going to take time. So that's probably why he's going for more workers at this point, although he is getting the 3rd base down there. So maybe he's planning for a fast 4th base, so he delays the 3rd base a little bit, knocks down the rocks, gets a ton of workers, and then goes for a relatively fast 4th, like at the 9-minute mark or something like that, which could be interesting, could be very interesting. TaeJa right now just going pretty standard stuff. Has got that 3rd command center, which is very nice, but still I'd say pretty standard. Creep tumor going down. Queen not really going to be intimidated by any of these units, and yeah, TaeJa's going to have to run away. Unfortunately, these Hellions do not have fast regenerations like the Bloody Reapers, so not much going to be happening there. They are going to go around, going to have a look at the rocks, see that the rocks are mostly dead already. I do believe he saw that. Yeah, we go. There's the scan, so he definitely sees that. Sees the rocks are mostly down, and now he knows that this base over here is going to be of interest much sooner in the game than he had previously anticipated. So how that changes his playstyle, I'm really not sure, but we're definitely not going to be seeing all of his units funneled into this, so we'll definitely see a fairly regular amount of scouting going up to that side, and that will be awesome. So let's have a look at the income for a sec. Hendralisk has been pumping out a ton of workers, it really does show, but TaeJa is not falling behind at all. He's got a sensational amount of workers. This 3rd base really been working overtime to make sure that he keeps up with Hendralisk, and so far doing a fantastic job. The Hellions, there's a bunch more Hellions here, but yeah, I don't know what they're really going to be able to do. We don't have roaches. We got a roach warren coming out for Hendralisk, but no actual roaches. We do have a lair as well, so the roaches could be, the roach warren could be for roaches, or it could just be for oh shit, you know, he's pumping out with a ton of whatever we need roaches ASAP. But he is going to build a few. Whether or not he's going for mutiling later on remains to be seen. But he hasn't got all of the gas yet. He's missing that gas there, so that tells me he's not going for mutiling. Because when you go for mutiling, you usually get all the gas as fast as possible. And in fact, you usually get a 4th and a 5th base purely just to get the gas on those bases. But he's getting the gas down now. We'll see what buildings he starts to build. He's building Baneling Tech, Ling Tech, so he's not building Roach Tech. So that's telling me that mutiling is perhaps the way to go here. And he's delayed the spy to get these techs, but I think that should be okay. I think that probably should be okay. So these guys just going to be falling on back. There we go, there's the spy coming out. Absolutely beautiful. TaeJa has moved his 3rd base out there, getting a bunch of bunkers, trying to build some sort of wall here for Baneling attacks running in from the east side, from the right side. He's going to want to cover this up, and then they have to go all the way around and get owned by this bunker, which is a very, very nice play. The Hellions going in, scouting this 4th base. Pretty good stuff there. And now TaeJa knows that is where he needs to hit, because that is going to be the least defended place right there. But he's got a timing sort of play that he can do. I mean, the mutas are not out yet, so the Hellions are still a very, very viable unit against the Lings that are out on the map. There's 41 Lings, 3 Roaches. So yeah, Hellions are definitely going to be awesome. They could easily get surrounded by these guys, but if there is enough of them, if there's Marines backing them up, they're morphing into Hellbats as well. No Blue Flame, but still, they're not a bad unit, and they do have medevac support, which is going to be awesome. So there we go, entering onto the creep, doing a nice bit of a split, trying to find the perfect way to get in there. There are a lot of Banelings, so he's going to have to be very, very worried about that. But so far, it doesn't look like he's going to get surrounded, and he is putting some serious damage on this hatchery. Hendralisk needs to do something now, or he loses it, and he's obviously just, I don't know, he was getting prepared, but while he was getting prepared, TaeJa was owning stuff, and the Marines doing a very, very good job of running away from the Banelings, finally getting scooped up into the medevacs. Lost a fairly low amount of units, I gotta say. He didn't lose all that much. 8 Hellbats, 2 Marines, and a Reaper have been lost. On the other side, Hendralisk has lost quite a bit. I don't know if it's more. It's definitely more. Hendralisk definitely behind, and I gotta say, TaeJa just microed it beautifully. I mean, he didn't have too much to do there. The Baneling just basically rolled towards his face after he'd already taken out the hatchery, so he didn't have to do any sort of crazy play to make sure the hatchery went down. He just went in there, did what he had to do, and then he retreated in an orderly fashion with a beautiful medevac pickup, and it just worked. It was straightforward, and it just worked. So he's going to have to deal with mutas now, and that's going to make things a little bit more difficult, but I'm quite sure that TaeJa is up for it at the moment. He's got 1-1 coming out, and Hendralisk, his Lings are going to have 1-1 as well. Mutas 0-0, of course, but they're going to go back straight for the 4th base. Might be a little bit hard to hit it this time. Hendralisk has his forces a little bit better in place, but the Baneling numbers are not high at all. There's 19 of them. That's a little bit better. I think he just finished morphing some more in, and these ones are going to be morphed in as well. Yeah, so it's not too bad. Hendralisk starting to get there, but needs to keep those Baneling numbers up. Really, really does. Income-wise, both doing pretty good, although TaeJa has caught up. If he starts muling in a major way, he's got 3 mules, so he's going to be looking pretty good. He's already looking pretty good. He's pumping out. He's got a ton of units. His army is looking pretty sick, 125, over 90. And I think TaeJa's definitely in the lead at this point. He's just about to finish 2-2 as well. I think that's what he's waiting for. 2-2 is done. Level 1 vehicle weapons about to go down. Hellbat Blue Flame about to go down. Level 3-3 already on the way. And yes, he's looking very, very good here. So many Lings though, so many Banelings. So Hendralisk not splinting on the Banelings at all, whatever that word is. I'm not sure if I selected the right word, but he's definitely not taking TaeJa for granted. He is building a ton of Banelings. That's exactly what he needed. And even though he had a crap ton, and even though he decimated most of TaeJa's army, in the end it just wasn't quite enough to deal with him. So yeah, great job there. And TaeJa just swooped in, knocked out the 4th base. It was mainly reinforcements which formed that final push. The main bulk of TaeJa's army did go down to Baneling hits, but Yeah, even if you do an insane amount of banelings like hendralisk did, sometimes it's just not quite enough. And I'm not sure if there's really much you can do about it at that point. You build a ton of them, but if your opponent's better, then your opponent's better, and there's really nothing you can do about that. So that's it. Game done. Thank you very much for watching this game, and I will catch you guys tomorrow with another one. Stay tuned.